Welcome to the 5K5. I am Mark, and I am joined today by Jonathan. He is a crucial part of our team. So for those of you who have not seen Jonathan before, do you want to introduce yourself and
Sure.
what you do and a fun fact about yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, excited to be here. So I'm Jonathan. I'm our director of AI integration. So I help our internal team and also our clients' teams to become more effective and efficient using automations, AI, workflow improvements, things like that.
And then,
Fun fact, yes.
yes.
I am a father of 3 kids, and love being a dad and a husband.
That's awesome, man. You know, maybe I'll be there one day. I
Right.
am getting married soon.
That's right. Congrats. Yeah.
Thank you. So Jonathan was just sharing with me a very exciting idea that can help executives share, cool things, cool features, cool ideas with their team more effectively, and actually have their team like visualize some of these ideas in front of them. So do you want to take it away?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're listening and you're a C-level executive or honestly even director level at a large company, this is definitely something you want to listen to today. We have a lot of growth services we offer as a company. We do an auditing program where we go in and talk with directors and executives and workers at companies to understand roadblocks and bottlenecks and efficiencies. We've done on-site, collaboration with executive teams. So there's a lot of interactions we've had with everyone from executives to lower level workers at companies, and how all that, sometimes the communication can be a bottleneck there. What I want to talk about today is a way that a lot of executives aren't even aware exists right now, where you can communicate an idea for either a tool or a dashboard or some sort of thing that you want to see, either for yourself as an executive to help you in your role, or that you think like a director or someone on your team would benefit from having. Traditionally, if you have a development team on site in your company, you may go to them and say, hey, I need this dashboard where I need to see these statistics updated every day from these three departments in my company. And then typically the challenge is, weeks later, you're going back to your development team and either they haven't gotten to it or they've created it and it's nothing like what you were envisioning at all. And it's just a communication issue. Executive speak is different from developer speak. So there's a lot of like friction that can happen there sometimes. Or worse yet, maybe you don't have a development team at all in your company and you're hiring another company to build something for you. And maybe you as an executive, you know your end goal, but you don't quite know how to describe what you want that experience to be like for you or for your team. So then hire a company and, thousands of dollars later, you get your finished product and it's nothing like what you're expecting at all. So what I want to show today is a way that an executive that does not have any coding or development background or experience can actually create what we call a prototype. Or if you're a designer, you may have heard about it more as like a mock-up of an idea. It's not a fully functional thing that you can use right away, but it gives you something that you can see and tweak a little bit and say, yes, this is what I want the experience to be like, and then hand this thing off to your development team, an external development team, or someone on your team that can like take that to the finish line.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give a couple examples today. We utilize AI very effectively in a lot of areas of our company, including development. One of the many tools we use that we found very effective for the prototyping stage specifically it's called V0, V as in Victor. So V0.app, you can see I have up on my screen here. I typed in a very basic prompt. You'll want to do something a little more in depth. Just kind of sit there and like word vomit on it, have 10 paragraphs if you need to, just to explain like, here's the situation. You can even talk to it like you're talking to a developer. Here's the problem I have. Here's what I want to be able to see. And then just hit the submit button and see what happens. So in this example, I said, build an enterprise grade dashboard that shows data for a C-level executive at a $10 million plus manufacturing company that shows data they'd want to see on a daily, weekly, and quarterly basis. Use dummy data to build this as a prototype. So that just tells it to not have to prompt it to be like, okay, what database do you want to set up and where's your CRM? Like, it's not going to get into that. It's just going to make up data so you can see the visual and say, yes, that's what I want, or no, change this.
Yeah.
So in real time here, I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here, and it is very fast how quickly it creates it. So we're going to get back to the screen a little bit later. While that's working on it, I ran the same prompt just a couple minutes ago before this, and this is what it outputted. So here on the left-hand side, you can see it's the exact same prompt. And within less than 2 minutes, it produced this. Now, most likely, this is probably nothing like what I would want because I gave it a very, very basic prompt. But if you're there, you're explaining who your company is, and you're saying, here's my website, and here's what I need to see from, Bob on my, sales department, and, Susan on my, manufacturing department or whatever. you give all that data, it will start integrating that into there and showing you a visual.
Yeah.
You can then chat with it and say something like, make it have a light mode option and consolidate the daily metrics. So I'll have it do that for a second. I'll go back here and see how the other one's doing. So we're about a minute or so into there. This is just one example. A dashboard might not be what you're looking to get as an executive. You might be working with your marketing team and have some frustrations with them, saying, hey, we need better resources or the sales team, we need better resources to help sell these prospects that are coming to us. They don't see us as an authority. Well, maybe someone has the bright idea to create a calculation tool.
Mm-hmm.
So just featuring one example, random website out there, a manufacturing company, NH Yates. So this is their website. What I did is went to a tool called Perplexity, which is great at doing research online. And I just told it to go find information about that company and give 3 ideas of a tool that could be used for prospects, that could be used as like lead magnets for them,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. So it gave me some information here. I simply copied and pasted that here into that same tool I mentioned earlier, Vizier. And there's lots of other ones out there. If you're not sure which tools to use or need guidance, we do have some programs available. You can contact us and I can walk you through that. But I just gave it that basic information and it created this. Now it's not ready for market, it's a prototype. But you can input information. And the idea here is not that you're expecting to get a ready to use tool right off the bat, but you can see that it does actually, if I put in that, looks like I might need to add something here. There we go. Calculate equipment needs. It does give some kind of pricing here. Again,
Mm-hmm.
probably grossly inaccurate because
Yeah.
I did give it information. But now you as an executive can see, oh, yes, this is the kind of experience that I'm hearing my sales directors talk about that we're missing from our sales
Mm-hmm.
process. And then you could just simply hit publish here. And it creates a URL. You can just literally copy and paste that URL and send it over to your sales team and say, hey, how would this help you guys?
That's so cool.
And then send that to your development team or
Mhm.
hire a development team to say, this is what we're trying to create. We already have a prototype. Make this work.
Yeah.
And I'll just quickly go back to here and I'll wrap this one up then. So this one, okay, it looks like this is still working on the oh, there we go. It already finished making the light mode just as we were talking about that.
Awesome.
So we got light and dark mode and it consolidated some information up here, as you can see. And the more detailed I get, it would, the better it would be.
Yeah.
And it looks like this one's already finished. Yeah. So the one I started earlier in this conversation has already finished being built as well. So that's that. I mean, there's a lot more to that. I don't want to create this illusion that you just simply type in a few things and you create, get these really awesome tools that are outputted. It's amazing what you can do with AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea generator. It helps you put visual to your ideas. We would be happy to sit down if you're an executive, with your executive team or your director's team, and walk through how you could actually utilize this in your specific company, what this would look like for tools that you guys would need.
Yeah. No, that's so cool, man. Like it's so powerful, the things that you can do now that like you wouldn't even like think of like a possibility, you know?
Right.
Especially these like executives who, have these ideas and it's so hard for them to express some of these ideas to their team because, they don't understand the same vision. They're not, they're not under the same umbrella. It's hard to kind of connect on that level.
Yeah.
And like, this is just a crazy awesome way to like really bring forth like, their ideas in such such a better way that their teams can actually like understand it and visualize it and then, take it from there.
Yeah.
That's super powerful.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. I don't want to cut you off if you had anything else.
That was it.
But thank you so much, Jonathan, for joining. Thank you for this super valuable insight. Again, listeners, executives, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team. Jonathan would love to, chat with you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, Jonathan. Thank you for coming on to the 5K5 and keep watching and, watch us for the next one.